Welcome to another Jay Leno's Garage restoration blog. To prove to you that we do read all the comments, the most common comment is, hey, how come you haven't had any of your own stuff on the website for a while? Because we have a lot of projects that are close to completion. I'm going to show you the ones that are very, very close. In the weeks ahead, you'll see updates on them and see how they drive and see how they run. First one up is this 71 Mercedes-Benz 3.5. The 280 SE. This is one of my favorite cars of all time. When I used to work at a Mercedes dealer, I thought these were the most beautiful cars I'd ever seen. The first of the small V8s, a 3.5. Remember they had the 6.3 prior to this. Overhead cam, wonderful car. We've done all the cosmetics on it. Now we're just fine-tuning it and getting it to run properly. Only has 80,000 miles, but just things wear out. So we'll get to this one. Come around, I'll show you. As you can see, the chrome, the paint, everything's done. Now it's just getting it mechanically sorted. That's what Per is doing now, adjusting the door. Yeah. And every time I step out of the room, you see Per stops working on this car, and then he works on his car over here, the 58 Dodge. As soon as I walk away, hey, what happened? I'll see this will be near completion, and mine is still not finished. But all the guys here get to work on their own stuff, so that makes it kind of fun. Come on, I'll show you what else we're working on. Another reason a lot of these restorations take so long is problems pop up. This was the 63.5 Falcon. We did this on my website a few years ago. It was smoking. I thought, it's going to need rings. We pulled the engine out, tore it apart, and we realized that the manifold, intake manifold, was leaking, and that's what it was. It was allowing oil to get into the motor and just smoke, and so it wasn't anything big. We just had to replace a bunch of gaskets on it. So luckily it was nothing too serious. He took the engine out, went through it, checked it for other things. We're going to put a hydraulic clutch in it. It had a mechanical clutch in it that the cable kept breaking on it, so that's why that took a long time. But this will be up and running again when we get the engine back into this. Come on, let's go over here. This is another car that had kind of deferred maintenance on it. I hadn't had it out in a while. I took it out a couple weeks ago. It was leaking a little bit of fuel. Fuel regulator was not good. So we went through, replaced a bunch of fuel lines, replaced the fuel pump, put an SU pump in it, which was lower pressure, so we get rid of the regulator, and a few other things. We'll take this one out again. This one really hasn't been on the website for about 10 years, so it's a fun car to drive, and we'll show you how that one works well. The one on the left here, this is our Fraser Nash chain gang car. This is one I've had for a long time. This is the one we had to 3D print and make a new sump for. I mean, it was a huge deal, but now it's really, really nice. Look at this here. Using our 3D printer, we made a whole new crankcase for this Blackburn engine. The other one was all, you know, JB weld and cracked, and it leaked all the time. It took a while and it was a lot of effort, but we got a brand new crankcase on this for this, so I'm real excited about that. As you can see, Jimmy did this stainless steel exhaust manifold here, really, really nice, made the whole exhaust system. This is the one with a really unusual transmission. If you look under here, you can see it's like a 10-speed bike. It's all driven by chains, so that's almost ready to go as well. Come on, let's show you some of the other projects. There's another car that's been around the shop for a long time, my 1916 Revere. This is a car we had to cast a whole new radiator shell for. It really turned out nice. Take a look at that, beautiful. The engine is not in it, the engine is next door. We just got to come up with a clutch and stuff for this, so that's what we're doing there. As you can, cosmetically, the car is all done. Just have to put the engine together and drop the transmission in it as well, and we'll be ready to roll there. So that one's not that far off. Come on over here. You all know the Buttafogo, the big 1916 Fiat I have with the 22-liter aircraft engine in it. Well, that thing's just gotten way too fast for the brakes. It's only got two-wheel brakes at the back. So we come up with a new axle, and we made our own brakes here, made the hubs. What we did is we built this cover to go over the disc brake to make it look like a drum brake. As you can see, our old friend Willwood right there, we'll probably maybe paint that over. No offense to Willwood. We just want it to look a little more period. But as I said, Willwood make brakes for every application, even a 1916 Fiat. So this way we'll finally be able to stop the thing. I mean, you can slow down rather quickly. You just can't stop. So Now with this new axle and these front brakes, that'll be a huge, huge improvement. So here it is here. Here's another one here, as you can see. All set to go together. Come on over here, I'll show you some of the other stuff. If you've been to the website, you remember this car. This is our Merlin-powered Rolls-Royce 1932 P2 chassis with a 27-liter Merlin aircraft in it. Remember the last restoration blog we showed you? We made an intake manifold on the 3D printer to run it on Weber carburetors, which is kind of cool. This is the stuff that drives you crazy. You know, we got it together, realized the doors really only opened this much, and it was starting to dig into the side here. So we had to re-engineer that, put different hinges on, rehang the doors, and also making a bit of a console in here and a few other things. So it takes a long time to get all this stuff right. But we're getting there. We're very, very close. We're very, very close. Come on over here. This is my 1930 SS100 Brough Superior motorcycle. We finally got this thing all fettled and it runs perfectly, and boy, it's really, really fun. I've got a few of these Broughs. You know, we're dealing with motorcycles that are 100 years old. You know, car breaks down, you just kind of pull off the side of the road. Motorcycle breaks down, you kind of go down pretty hard. So it's just good to go through all these motors and make sure everything's right. That's another Brough up there on the stand. That is a 1925 SS100. That's probably the most valuable one because that's sort of the Lawrence of Arabia bike. That's kind of what, not the actual bike, but exact duplicate of the one he ordered, the one he rode, with the saddlebags and the big motor and all that kind of stuff. So that's coming along as well. This one here is a bike I lusted after for a long time. It's a 1955 Ariel Square 4 English motorcycle, 4-cylinder engine, developed by Edward Turner, the same guy who did the Triumph Bonneville. It's basically almost, you know, some people say it's two Bonneville engines side by side. I don't know if I go quite that far, but that's sort of the thinking behind it. Wonderful bike. We'll have a road test on this as well. This is one of those things that required a bit of fettling, as they say. You know, these are so unusual. Like the generator drives the distributor, and if the generator goes out, you can't just replace it because it's the distributor, so you've got to make sure you fix it. So we had to pull that out and take it apart and put it back together, and now it's fine. So, oh, one last thing. Pièce de résistance. Follow me. This is a new Ford GT. That's the key. We'll have a road test for you very, very soon. Hopefully within a couple of weeks. So I'll put some miles on it first, you know, get a feel for that. See you later.
Mm-hmm.